Hello everybody and welcome to my latest video. Today I'm doing my August wrap-up. So, without further ado, let's get going. My first book of the month was sort of a half book. I read 7.5 because this one I started in July. It was an audiobook of The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jane Auel. And this book was disappointing to me. Not the biggest disappointment of the month, that one we'll save for later. But definitely disappointing. I'd heard raves about this book a couple years ago from various friends, and so I expected it to just be phenomenal. And it was good. I'm kind of tempted to go to read the second one now, but I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, so it was just a little too technical for me. The next one I read on my Kindle. It is The Blood of Kings by Robert E. Keller. This was the 4th and final book in a series about a young man named Lannon Sunshield. He is a squire in the first one. He works his way up to knight in this kingdom, and they have to save the kingdom from the ever-impending doom of evil, as usual. But he has a very rare ability. He has this thing called the Divine Eye. It's very important. You have to read the book, because I'm not sure I can explain it. But this one was good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. One I have in a hard copy with me. It is The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. I read this because of Our Shared Shelf, started by Emma Watson on Goodreads. They read a feminist book every 2 months or so, and this was the book for July and August. This one definitely made me think. It was not exactly a comfortable read because you start to think that maybe what you like or what you believe isn't as individualized as you would like. But I highly recommend it. It sort of gave me a different way to look at things in the world. I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is The Zong, A Massacre, the Law, and the End of Slavery by James Walvin. This was by far my favorite read all month. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Not because it was a fun read or a comfortable read. It deals with the Zong, which is the ship, and the throwing overboard of about 1/3 of the slaves on the ship because the supplies were running low. Like I said, it's not a comfortable read. I was screaming at the book on occasions and sitting there speechless on others because I couldn't believe people could do that. Regardless of whether they thought Africans were human or not, I couldn't believe what they did to these people sometimes. It's just awful. But it taught me a lot. So I definitely recommend this. Just prepare yourself to want to scream and possibly cry and not know what to say. The next book is, there we go, Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This is not something I would have typically read. It's a science fiction, but I did do a review for it, so I will link that down below. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of the series. The next one, which I also will leave the link to the review down below, is The Butterfly Mosque by G. Willow Wilson. This is about a young American woman's sort of conversion to Islam after she goes to Egypt, why she did it, and just sort of her life and her realization of the cultural differences, which was fascinating to me and I absolutely adored it. 5 out of 5. The next one was another audiobook. It was The Blaze of Glory by Jeff Shara. This one I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's about the Battle of Shiloh in the Civil War in 1862, early April to be specific. I was pleasantly surprised. It's a narrative history, not a strict history, although without the dialogue that's what it would be. But because of the dialogue, it's a narrative history. It was really interesting. I didn't know much about the Battle of Shiloh. I know virtually nothing about the Civil War in general. So if you're looking for something different and you like the Civil War, I highly recommend this. And it's a series, so there's more. And then the next one, and last one for August, was Akhenaten, Egypt's False Prophet by Nicholas Reeves. This one I gave 2 out of 5 stars. It was my biggest disappointment of the month because it was more so a history book about the entire 18th dynasty as opposed to just Akhenaten, which is what I really wanted. I wanted a biography of Akhenaten. I wanted to know why he decided to go from a polytheistic society to a monotheistic society. I wanted to know what he was doing, why he was doing it, and just sort of more about his life, and it gave me this whole history of his entire family instead, which was a great setup for the book I'm currently reading, The Woman Who Would Be King by Kari-ng, but not so much what I wanted from that book itself. that is the last book I read in August, with the exception of about half of The Woman Who Would Be King, which I am finishing today. So that is all for my August wrap-up. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!